If you thought attracting your wife was a one and done event, especially once you got married, that brought some kind of security that you both would find each other desirable forever now, let me tell you, women must be attracted over and over and over again for the rest of your relationship. There's what women say they want. Oh, you'll read that in the comments. But there's what they respond to. And I want you to know the difference. Polarizing a woman is something they respond to. And I'm about to teach you exactly how to do that. Welcome to this video, guys. Garrett Prettyman at Garrett Prettyman Coaching. I work directly with men, specifically men that are struggling in relationship, that are feeling the pain and uncertainty of a woman who's wanting to leave the relationship. And we find ourselves in this space of like, what happened to our attraction? I still love her. I'm still attracted to her. Why doesn't she still feel that way towards me? You know, even the statement, attract your wife, is actually not entirely correct. We don't just go out and put attraction into women. It's not like we're going to win over our dream girl because we put attraction in her, or win back our runaway wife because we put attraction in her. That magic is something that happens on its own that we have no control over. We want to be pouring our energy, our time, and our connection with women who are attracted to us. But here's what a lot of us guys know deep down. We weren't being our authentic self for a long time in the relationship. We became a version of ourself that was wishy-washy and soft and indecisive and not very masculine as we tried to keep her happy. And then when she says she's not happy and she says she wants out, part of us is like, well, shit, I haven't even been a man I'm proud of. So no wonder you don't want to be with that guy. I don't want to be with him anymore either. So it's time, brother, to level up into the man you do want to be and find out if she's attracted to that guy. If she is, great. If she's not, then she is not. You're not going to change that. If you were to boil it down to one sentence, polarizing a woman basically means you take responsibility for your emotions and you do not take responsibility for her emotions. What does that even mean? What does it look like? I'm about to give you two different ways that you would see this happen. In a dating sense, polarizing a woman means that when you're on that first date, probably towards the end of it, or for sure by the second date, you're behaving as a man who's able to evoke a range of emotions from her. Not just happiness and joy and excitement and humor, but sadness, anxiety, maybe even fear. See, women are drawn to the man that lets her fully experience all the ranges of emotion, but he still stays grounded. She senses a safety and trust around that man. Us guys aren't really wired that way. We want everything to stay on the good side of the pendulum. We want happiness and joy and excitement and love and all the good feelings. And yes, women love the good feelings. But a man who polarizes in a dating sense would actually say something like, I don't agree with what you just said. He would directly show that he's not afraid to confront her, that he's not afraid to disagree with her, and that he's not afraid to stand his ground. She will probably not respond to that positively. She will probably turn up her nose in disgust. That why aren't you more empathetic? Well, why don't you agree with me? But this is a subconscious pattern in women where she's testing to see how strong you really are. And she might storm off and say how much she thinks you're an asshole. But if she's attracted, she will be drawn back to you because she can feel your strength. Now, this isn't something you're just going to start doing to women every 10 minutes because polarizing makes them attracted to you. This is something to act maturely with. It's something you bring in to spice things up every now and then. Here's what some guys get stuck on. They think that if they execute these exact strategies or words I'm using or replay these scenarios with women, that it'll effectively win one over. No, you need to be a man who naturally doesn't mind if he has a different view on something than her. He genuinely is secure and confident in himself to where he can hold his ground when she gets emotional and not think he needs to take responsibility for how she's feeling. A lot of narcissists do attract women, and this is why. There's something in women that their ego fractures when something directly cuts across them. And they instinctively want the thing that caused the pain to be the remedy. This is how daddy issues are formed. This is why some women chase men. They want the thing that hurt them to make them better. It's really disempowering to live life like that. But I'm just explaining what we see happening all the time. There are women who have developed themselves and improved and become conscious on this stuff, and they're not doing those subconscious things. But 95% of ladies are just shooting from the hip on that, and just that's how they're being. So this is what I mean by there's what women say, but then there's what they respond to. The second dynamic I want to talk about polarizing a woman in is in a long-term relationship. Maybe she walks in the room and she's got a brand new dress on and you're about to go out on the town and you're like, you know what, honey? That dress does not look too good on you. You need to go back and change. Now, obviously, don't just make it up. You're simply not afraid to speak your truth, even if she isn't going to like it. She may storm off and be sad you didn't tell her she's pretty. And that's what you should be doing if you're her husband. But you're confident in yourself. You're secure. You don't need her approval of you. Now, you really don't want to do this more than like maybe once a month. And don't even put it on the calendar. It just needs to be a natural part of your character that you're not apologizing for what you think or feel just because she's a woman. She wants to feel that strength. It's actually a sense of respect that you will speak what you think and you will say how things are seeming for you, regardless of how she takes it. If you're trying to always butter her up and pat her on the back and give her the affirmation and praise and everything to keep her in a good space, you're walking on eggshells. A woman doesn't feel your strength when you're that kind of wishy-washy guy. I'm just giving you the stats of what is going on out here. I've been working with men all around the world for years, and I see consistent patterns in how females respond and how males respond. We're wired different. We have different thinking paradigms. We have different responses to how we think things work. There's a term you will hear me use in my videos all the time where I talk about how we need to learn how to bloom women. You know, I made that term up. Let me give you a little more definition of what that means. When a man has a thing for a girl, he just kind of always has a thing for her. Women are wired a little differently. They kind of wake up more like as a blank slate, a closed flower. And until something polarizes her, she's in a neutral state. And as we go through a long-term relationship, she needs to keep encountering the kind of man that opens her. Or as at least what I mean by this is creating an environment that she can safely and with trust open on her own. This is where it gets dicey because you can't just open a woman. It is something she has to do. But what kind of man is it that she can do that around? If you are evolving into being more masculine and more manly and more in your frame as a man, there are some women that are going to be completely incompatible with you. Maybe your wife used to be more feminine, and maybe she's stepped into that masculine role because you kind of abandoned it. You let her make the choices. You let her set the boundaries. You let her hold the paddle and set the sails for the ship for how life was going to be. And so by forcing her to be the man, we shot ourselves in the foot because we just destroyed what brought the chemistry, what brought the polarity, the fact that she was feminine and I was masculine. Even if you look at gay relationships, one is still being masculine and one is being feminine. They might change roles on who that is being, but it requires these opposite ends of the spectrum to feel erotic desire. So I'm not talking about gender roles. I'm talking about the energy of masculine and the energy of feminine. You are not going to be able to save your marriage if your wife does not relax into her feminine. She can't make that choice until you are being masculine. Now, if you start collecting a list of these are the ways that you attract a woman, these are the ways you turn her on, you're not going to get the results you want because it's just an act. She can smell right through that. Women have a sixth sense. You need to work on the insecurities, the fears, the loneliness, the things that are keeping you from just being that kind of guy naturally. And this is what I do with men. My masculine confidence framework is the strategy that men all over the globe are using to find their security, their charisma, their excitement and joy and happiness in life, regardless of what women are doing. That's a magnetism. That's an attraction that women notice. And some women will be pushed away by it. Good. You want those ladies out of your life. All right. Reach out if you would like a free consultation to see if this work is right for you. I'll connect with you, hear your story, and help understand what you're really faced with and get you clear on what to do about it. All right. Take care, brothers.